Welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Volvo Momentum V60. We want to crack on with this, and in the background I think we've done quite well to find a lot of the parts for this one.
Yeah.
Bumper's on its way today.
That's right.
Put it on Instagram. A subscriber lives in Birmingham, working in Rochester. He's on his way down with that today.
That's good.
Since the last video we have found a couple of more little broken bits, but again got them ordered. There's like I called it a stepper pump. What did you call it down there?
It's a motorised valve.
Motorised valve. It's got like 3 pipes going to it.
Coolant system, yeah.
But that wasn't
bypass
spiteful.
valve, motorised valve, something like that.
But you noticed something a bit naughty that
Yes.
I didn't actually notice in the last video.
No, we didn't, did we?
Do you want to explain what that is, Chris?
Well, probably we should have noticed, because there's a couple of bolts missing out the subframe and the subframe's hanging down, and we didn't give it much thought, did we?
No.
We thought, oh, it's just where someone stripped it and it's aided them getting something out. But yeah, it's actually took an impact under here. I guess when it's hit the roundabout, it's bumped it up, and it's, I don't know, concertinaed that, I guess you would say.
Crunched it in.
Yeah, crunched it in, for want of a better word. But very fortunate, Volvo sell this piece as a separate panel.
I've got it.
£41.
Yeah, we've got it, yeah.
Which,
Chris, hidden damage.
well,
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Because I spoke to the chap that owned this car. He was very old and very honest.
Yeah.
He didn't tell us he changed the subframe though, did he?
Well,
when I rung him up
or
and
removed
said,
the subframe bolts.
That's right.
Yeah.
I actually called him and said, right, we've noticed this big gap. He went, oh yeah, I've put a subframe on it. But I wish we'd have known that, because of course we'd have had a good look. But
I think we'd have still bought the car.
we'd have still bought it. It is what it is. So that little pump, that is actually going to be here today. That's already here. So we can actually crack on and get that done.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I mean, it's probably the one car we thought weren't going on the jig, but it is now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess more the ramp we're going to use outside, aren't we? Not the jig. No. But we're going to get this in and crack on with that, because like I say, we've got a lot of parts on their way, including that rad pack, and that's got to be single-handedly probably the most expensive thing we've ever bought for a car.
Well, it's getting there.
As one, I mean, it comes as a pack.
Isn't it?
It is a lot of money, but definitely worth it. The car's all clear. It's not marked. I know a lot of people in the last video did say, well, it's, you know, it has been damaged, but any insurance company would have repaired this car for the value of it. They didn't, because the chap was drink driving, and you're not covered by insurance if you're drunk. Anyway, let's get it straight in and crack on with it, I think. Like we did in the last video, just get through it and get it all done. So straight out to get the car, and of course it's dumped all of its gearbox oil and stalled right on the edge of the ramp. You can see a bit of gearbox oil there, a bit of messing around putting it, and he managed to get it in and get it up on the new ramp. Now on this particular car, of course, there is 2 batteries, the 12-volt battery and the 48-volt hybrid battery. Both of those need to be disconnected before you carry out any jobs on this car whatsoever. So there's going to be some grinding welding, and they need to be disconnected. With both of those off, we're ready to go.
So a little bit tricky getting that in today on my own. It didn't help that the gearbox oil cooler has got a bit of a leak. So it's lost some automatic transmission fluid, which when I got to the little incline on those loading ramps, it didn't matter how much I revved it, it wouldn't come in. So I've had to stop, top the gear oil up and take a second bite of it. That's why there's a bit of a break in the time lapse. Anyway, I've got it up to a working height now, and I am going to go ahead and strip this front cross member out the way, which will allow me better access to the air conditioning compressor, because I'm going to remove that as well, because as well as, I think Rob showed it earlier, this bit damaged, there is a little bit of damage I can now see on the inside of that panel that I'm going to have to get to. So I'll crack on, get that repaired, and then hopefully Rob will be back by then and we can both have a look at it.
So we never put this front panel on there, this top half, and we're not sure it's actually ever been removed. It all seems to be there. All of the bolts are in the correct places, but of course they are in the way, so all of that has got to come off, unfortunately. It is a shame, but it's best to move it all out of the way to prevent it from getting damaged and to create more access to the area you're working in. So like any salvage project, you will always, I would say, 9 out of 10 times, come across something extra.
That's right.
So what we got here, mate? We have got
a water pump, which is driven by an auxiliary belt that runs off the back of the compressor, believe it or not. So you've got a secondary drive there. So that's the main belt driving the compressor, and then off of the back of that, which sits underneath it, runs the water pump. Which is a bit of an unusual setup.
And it's had a little clump there.
It's had a clump, and it's also broke one of the mountings off, which is in there. It's broke that kiddie off of there, look. And that was that front one there.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So we're going to need a new, it shredded the belt.
Well,
there's a bit of belt about somewhere.
Thankfully, before we cut in, oh yeah, I'll see that. You did give me the part number off that.
Yes.
They are £300, but I just found one. Brand new old stock, XC90, same part number. 50 quid, buy it now on eBay. Yeah. I bought it, and the chap said he'd post it out today.
Well, that's good.
And you moved basically everything out of the way. It's just going to aid getting to it.
To get to everything, isn't it? So
with that bar there, I suppose it is in the way, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to move on to that now.
I am just going to Medway Services to meet a lovely chap that has bought that bumper all the way down from Birmingham for us.
Yes.
So I'm going to whip off and get
Collected it from the seller for us.
Collected it from the seller, and then he was down here on a business trip. So
brilliant.
Huge thank you to him. I'm going to go and collect that, leave you to crack on with that, and I think I'll bypass and I said that the other day in a video, I messed up. I'll run straight to the paint shop with it.
Yeah.
It's got no damage on it.
No.
We need it black, so I'll go and do that and leave you to crack on with that. Guys, in the Motorway Services, a huge thank you to Peter Shaw over there in that Audi. He lives in Birmingham. He's just getting in his car. You can see him in the background there. Lives in Birmingham, and he was coming down here for a meeting, and he kindly picked this up for us and met me at the services right near to where we are. So thank you to him. Let's get it to the paint shop and get it in black.
So I think we've mentioned before on a couple of occasions that what you're trying to achieve when you're drilling these panels off is really to only drill through the panel that you are replacing. You achieve nothing really other than make yourself a lot of extra work if you drill all the way through these other panels, because you've simply got to plug weld them back up with a MIG. So that's why take a bit of time. If you have to go over it a couple of times because you've not cut to a deep enough depth, that's not really a problem. And as you can see from the end of, hopefully you can see from the end of that drill bit, that is not like a normal twist, high-speed twist drill. There's a small centre point to stop you running off, and then it actually cuts flat rather than cutting on a bevel. So anyway, there we go. You do sometimes go through, but if you try not to, it makes it an easier job further down the line.
Chris is cracking on there, but he's not quite ready for me to do the next cutting. So he's whipped off both front wheels, and you can see that's actually quite bad, that one, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're diamond cut, and obviously they're like a grey in between.
That one's equal.
Yeah.
Well, not quite so bad.
No, but nothing they can't sort out, is it? So I'm going to drop these off JW Smarts, get these refurbished, and then we'll pick up once you've finished what you're doing there, mate. The wheels all dropped off, and you look like you got cracking while I was out there.
Yep. I don't know when we last did a cutting, Rob, to how far we got.
I think you was actually taking it all off.
Oh, was I?
But you've straightened that
So
all out.
Yeah, got a bit carried away and ended up taking this. You come around here, you can see, taking this one off as well.
Yeah.
Because that had a bit of damage in here, and you couldn't really get to it.
Right.
So I've took that one back off.
Was it
took
just
that one off rather?
Just so spot welds, was it?
Yeah, and down the. But I'd already drilled halfway through
To take that side off,
take
right.
this side, so it was half off anyway. So I thought, well, rather than leave it, I'd take it right off and get it straight. So I've now got to weld that back on before I can put that new outer on.
New cap, which
Yeah.
you've got in the vice there.
Yeah, because I've got to drill some holes in it.
Yeah, so that you can weld it on.
So
Yeah, well, was it quite, I mean, I must admit, we didn't notice that on the first video, and there was no mention of it, was there? Has it been
no,
a bit of a
and
headache?
I don't know if you've mentioned that either. That we mentioned a gap outside.
Yeah,
It has bushes in there.
right.
So I've not put a bush in. I've put
Metal spacers.
yeah, metal spacer in there because of welding.
Yeah, you don't want it to melt.
No,
yeah.
rubber. So, but yeah, so once that's all welded, we will have to drop the bed to get those bushes in.
Yeah, all right, mate.
But yeah,
Just before I set off, Chris actually, while I was loading those two wheels in my van, started wandering around this car, and you actually noticed that one of the tyres from this side
was
was
an odd
actually
size.
odd size.
yeah,
So, and the wheel had quite a lot of damage on
It
it.
did, yeah.
So they'd obviously popped that tyre and they'd chucked a runner on there that
That's
was the
right.
wrong size. And then you noticed the back one from the passenger side
had been curbed quite bad.
had a big chunk missing out the tyre.
That's right.
So it turns out this whole car, it's got one decent tyre.
Yeah.
That's done 16,000 anyway. So we have just had to pull the trigger and order 4 brand new tyres for it. And of course, all 4 wheels have gone off to JW Smarts to be done.
Yeah.
If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing right, isn't it? We just got all 4 wheels done, 4 new tyres. It's a brand new car, more or less, so it wants to be right. Mate, we'll let you just carry on with
Yes,
there. We can
yeah.
pretty much see what you're doing, and I'm sure it's going to come out perfect. I didn't mention that you'd actually stripped everything off.
No.
We've had a couple of deliveries. The new, can you bring that belt over here? It's just because of the, I don't want to put it up at the screen. I know we don't do the numbers till the end. How much was this?
47 quid. wasn't it,
£47 for a belt.
and
But
that's that belt I mentioned. I think I
earlier on
mentioned
in the
that,
video,
didn't I?
yeah.
That drives off the back of the compressor to drive the water pump.
Yeah, and also we've had this new little pump valve that goes in there. That's arrived as well. Water pump's on its way. So fingers crossed, it is all coming in. We're waiting on the rad pack. Hopefully, it's all going to get here and we can start piecing it back together. Mate, we'll leave you to it. Straight in with that new panel and a bit of welding up there. Moving on to a bit of grinding up, and I'm sure once Chris has finished that, you're never going to tell that that has actually been replaced. We use the genuine parts from the dealer, so they all fitted up absolutely perfect. You can see he's got that all welded up, all ground up, and on with a bit of masking, and he's going to go over the top there with some etch primer. It's very, very important to put the weld through primer on there before you fit the new panel over the top of it, because otherwise you're just going to end up with rust inside, and before you know it, it's going to start rusting. What crash?
Well, that's how you like them to come out, isn't it?
Nice job of that, mate. I can see every single one of those spot welds is lining up exactly
well,
where you drilled it off.
The thing is,
them ones certainly are up there.
They are. Obviously, I've used that as a template. So they're not exact, but they're almost. Yeah. If that makes sense.
You're all primed up, all weld through primer in there. You're ready to weld that up. And
that's it. Yep.
Job's a good one, I think, on the chassis work. Then we're just going to be waiting on bits for it, mate.
I shall get that welded in there now and ground up, and then bit of paint, a bit of prep and paint, isn't it?
And I think that's it. So it is literally a case of waiting for the rest of the parts to turn up, and then we can actually start piecing this one together. Nice that the front bumper's at paint.
That's right.
Nice that the wheels are at refurb. It's all going in the right direction, and it's going reasonably quick. So yeah, we'll let you just finish that off then, mate. How we diddling, mate?
Oh, get in there, mate. Get in there. Have a look. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah, you're never going to tell that that's been done.
No.
Been replaced, and that's what we want, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, quite pleased with that, really.
Yeah, that's brilliant, mate.
I know I've said it before, but you can't beat a localised bit of damage.
No, that's right.
Rather than, chasing the damage around the car. We've had them before, haven't we? In the front, down the side, up the back. So when they're like this, really nice. I mean, very minimal paint work on this car.
Front bumper.
Not a lot of mechanical to strip, and refit. It's always a shame, isn't it, when someone else has took them apart, because finding bits, and there's always a few bits missing, or bits that get overlooked. I mean, we do it ourselves, don't we? When we strip them, sometimes we miss parts. It happens. But when someone else has stripped it and they've looked at a part that's broken and binned it, we don't, until you come to fit the car back together, you don't even know that bit exists.
We don't throw anything away, do we?
But like I say, even with our method, you still miss bits from time to time. So, but apart from that, it's been a nice, simple job, really, hasn't it?
Good news. Can I get you to just hold that? Again, we don't do the numbers on the videos, do we? Until the end. But we looked this up because this was broken. The old one's down here in the tray, and it was nearly £400. And I don't know how we did it, but we just punched a number into eBay. That's brand new old stock, 50 quid.
Yeah, it's good, isn't
it? I mean, we got so lucky with that.
We did.
Really, really lucky. And it comes with all new seals as well. So, I mean, it's a very, very expensive car to repair this one. Very expensive, isn't it? And to get little bits like that at a discounted price is always going to help. Yeah. So what you on with, mate?
Well,
I see you're scotching it off, so...
yes. My plan was to get this in a bit of primer.
Yeah.
But you've thrown a curveball with what you've just turned up with.
I have indeed, yeah.
We're going to have to wrap it here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we want to mention what's on your
truck yet. We don't mention it, but anyone that follows us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds would have seen that I actually won a car 3 weeks running where they kept asking for £10,000. We put in our maximum bid, and they've actually finally let us have that car.
We won it for the 4th time.
We won it for the 4th time.
But then they counter-bid, didn't they?
They counter-bid 9,800, and we stuck to our guns, and we got it in the end. So that is on the back of the truck. The engine is currently sitting on the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
I don't know where the chassis leg is. I think it's in the moon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that's kind of, because you need the truck. to go and pick something else
I do
up.
need the truck indeed. So I mean, you're just going to paint that. People
Yeah.
have seen you paint before.
Well, it'll be in the next video, Rob. But
Yeah.
we're going to have to stop here.
Yeah.
Because
We need to
we've
get
got
that
to try
off.
and get,
Yeah.
because it's not even on 4 wheels, is it?
No.
So
No.
we're going to have to try and get it off the truck without causing any more damage or any damage to the truck. So I think we may have to take the engine support beam off of the
Volvo, yeah.
to put on that.
Yeah, definitely.
To lift the engine enough.
Let's save all this for that video.
Yeah.
We will pick up exactly where we've left off in the next video, and then I think everything's going to be here for this. We can crack on with it.
That should be the final video.
Yeah,
and the car.
definitely.
Let's hope so.
Wishful thinking when we started this, and I said, yeah, we'll get all this done in this video. There's always one, isn't there? It was wishful thinking. Guys, that is the end of today's video. As usual, we do hope that you did enjoy it. Hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it, and it shows your appreciation. Again, if you want to follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds, one subscriber reached out to us on this, and we do pay a finder's fee if we buy the car. You can also follow Chris on his jollies at Salvage Rebuilds UK.
Chris,
what did I say?
you said UK.
Did I? Sorry, Chris.
Salvage Rebuilds Chris.
Salvage
Instagram.
Rebuilds Chris.
Yeah.
Instagram.
I don't have a YouTube channel.
No, and he doesn't have a YouTube.
Ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This is the YouTube channel.
as soon as you type in Salvage Rebuilds, we both come up anyway,
That's
don't we?
right,
So
yeah.
like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.